5 years and older, do you think it's more important for that kid to go home and be with his mom than it is for them to play with other kids after school?
I think it's less important 5 years and up, but if you're talking about K through 5 or 0 to 5 years old, what woman could
No one is talking 0 to 5.
Yeah, that is what I talked about.
So then you should very easily answer my question and say, no, Destiny, when they hit 5, when they're going to school, it's probably better for them to play with kids after school than go with their mom.
You're a 34-year-old cuck.
You're only a virgin because getting in the ass doesn't count to you for losing virginity. Is it better for them right after school to go home and be with mom or to play with other kids for an hour or two at like extended care?
But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about...
answer the question?
But this is what you do. You ask a stupid... and then he throws
his head up. Yeah, you can keep pointing it up.
I'm incapable of having an adult conversation.
You know that the question defeats your entire worldview. It's like based on nothing.
You have to
keep interrupting me. You are a kid that went to school with no friends. You're a fucking homo. You're a virgin. We've all seen the pictures, Nick. You're not answering my question. It's always the rambling with you. You're like a preacher.
Why are so many high-value men marrying 30-plus-year-old women?
What are you talking about? They're cheating on them.
Talking about, like,
I'll tell you why. Because they all have
options.
like mommy issues.
That's the reason that all of these billionaires
And
marry
is that a real marriage, or
Yes.
is he cheating on the bitch?
No, I'm talking.
That's also true.
He's
But the reason
cheating.
why,
You think Zuckerberg is cheating? I mean, what women is he pulling?
Yeah, the teenagers.
multi-billionaire. How naive. What women is he pulling? He's got like a mega yacht.
Yeah,
come on. I know he's a nerd, but
even Weinstein was pulling.
So I think
you're pulling them out of daycare.
Fundamentally, what I was getting at before, and I'm glad, by the way, that the poll basically vindicated me. So it turns out everybody does value family. What I was getting at is that I'm talking about what matters in life. And the question, which I wish we stuck with this line of inquiry, Destiny said, well, yeah, men don't like working because what they really like is the freedom that working provides. I said, well, the freedom to do what? He said, well, the freedom to pursue hobbies with friends and blah, blah, blah. And that's the choice. It's between the autonomy that working provides or the money provides versus the obligations of family. And here's the thing. And I said, if it was just hobbies, if it was just surfing and cards and StarCraft and all that, like I would kill myself. Here's why. I didn't always feel this way. I didn't actually always feel very strongly about this, but I went to college and I thought about like what my life would look like, what I would have for store in my life. And this is what we can all say for certain about our life to some extent. Either we will die early, or if we live a long life, we're going to see both of our parents die, which is going to be brutal. And what's that going to look like when you're living with no parents? It's going to be miserable. Yeah. You're going to see most of your friends die. You're going to see your closest friends die young, some of them, or you'll see them die old. You will peak mentally and physically, and then every day after will be mentally and physically degraded. Henceforth after that, sometime in your 20s and 30s, you'll get sick, you'll get achy, you'll have pains, you'll wake up and be in pain. You'll be ugly, you'll be unattractive. If you're a man, women won't look at you. If you're a woman, men won't look at you. That is what your life looks like. And so when people say, well, I'm living for the freedom to do these hobbies and things, that's why I say on a rational calculation, if I'm looking at a life where my parents die, my friends die, I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get achy, I'm going to mentally and physically peak, I'm probably killing myself at 30. Because you know what? Getting a little bit of money and maybe getting a boat or going on vacation, it doesn't outweigh all the bad things. And that's fundamentally, I think, the difference between me and Destiny is I believe that life is suffering. We're not here to have a good time. It's not a big theme park. We're here in this fallen world where there's work, where there's toil, there's birth pain. That's what the Bible says is the woman's penance for the original sin. There's birthing pain, and we have to die a hard death. Our soul is ripped from our body and we face a judgment. We can either accept that reality and live within it, within our physical and spiritual means. We can make decisions and enjoy the good things in the world, which is love, which comes through family and children. Or we can ignore all that and pretend like we're going to live forever and do OnlyFans and fuck around and go and have a good time and make money and fly around the world and pretend we're never going to die, but we are. And that, I think, is the fundamental difference.
And that, you're right. In Islam, we believe the same thing, that life is, you're not supposed to really be fully happy now. Everything that you do is supposed to worship and please God so that you can make it to Jannah. And one of the important things, and you said that I didn't read the Quran, but what's an important part of Islam is that the father is supposed to pick the potential husband for his daughter, because you said all the single moms, they make bad decisions. A lot of the girls in the panel are saying that there's all difficult men to find. But yeah, it's difficult to find men that are of proper value to raise children. So what's better if you follow the Bible, the Quran, and you're saying that that's not good, that these 2,000-year-old books or whatever, 1,400-year-old books. But the best way to have a relationship is if the father picks, and then.
Do you think a father would pick any of the men at this table?
Absolutely.
Number one, the Quran shits on every single man at this table. Okay, and that's not an insult to the men, because that's an insult to the Quran.
Well,
There's a lot of great men.
I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot of DMs.
However, Nick talks about how like, if that's all I've got, when I hit 30, I would kill myself. You're not going to have a family by 30, and you're not going to kill yourself, because every single man at this table, believe it or not, has things that they can look back on and feel proud about. That's why you guys are here. That's why you're in the position you are. Myron, when you hit your age, I don't give a how old you get or how many kids you have, you're always going to look back at this podcast and be really proud that you did something that a lot of people thought you couldn't do, and you became the largest men's self-improvement podcast in the world. Working with Fresh. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I say the same thing for Fresh too. Like, all you guys involved in this podcast, I think you would all feel insulted if somebody looked at you like, oh, isn't this just a hobby for you guys? No, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into building this. And at the end of the day, you produce a product that I'm sure you guys and everybody that works on production here, behind the scenes and in front of the camera, feel really proud about. Wow. And then same thing with you. As much as I hate Nick and every being, I know that when Nick hits you 50, 60, 70, okay, if you grow out of your man-loving phase and you get a wife, you're going to look back at all the shit you've done politically, and you're going to feel proud about the shit you've done. You're going to look back at Cozy TV. You're going to look back at AFPAC. You're going to look back at trolling Charlie. You're going to look back at all these things. You know what? What I did there was really cool. And if somebody went up to you and they said, wasn't your politics just a hobby? You're going to go, no, you. I put in a lot of work and I built something that meant something to me. Yeah. Sneako, for all of the stuff that you worked on and will work on, you're going to feel the exact same. No, you're getting there. Okay? The idea that you like dismiss all of these things as like just hobbies, family comes second after working on yourself. An incomplete man or woman that doesn't even understand the things that they want or they like in life is not going to be able to produce a family that is going to be stable in the world. You have to find out what makes you happy, what allows you to contribute to society, what allows you to find fulfillment, and then from you being a complete person, from there flows a family, and then from a complete family flows a community, and then from a complete community flows a government. This is how the society is structured. Broken people that don't even know what makes them happy can't produce children that are going to be happy and fruitful in the world.
Okay. My answer to that.
Go ahead.
If I can answer that, so I didn't say that I would kill myself at 30 if I don't have a family. I said if there was nothing more to life other than amusements and hobbies and frivolities or even things like career, I would kill myself, because the value proposition of life wouldn't be enough. I said there has to be more than that, which for me is God. For me, it's the things that proceed from God. And as far as what you say about career and profession, and we feel very good about ourselves. Honestly, I think we feel good about ourselves because it feels good to do honest work. It feels good to build things. When all is said and done, we are going to be here, and as quickly as we came, we are going to be gone. And as quickly as this earth came into existence, it will be gone. It's a pile of beans.
From dust we will return. That's right. In the Bible, bitch.
And so for me, the things that truly matter, the things that I'm proud about for what I do, you know, and by the way, and I don't hate you. I disagree with you, but I don't hate you. I try to be your friend. That's okay. One day you'll come around. The things that I'm proud of are the moral decisions that I've made. The reason I'm proud of AFPAC or America First or my movement is because I told the truth. It's because I converted people to Catholicism, which has an objective moral weight. If I was a streamer and I was just making content about like, hey, you know, let's do movie reviews or something, you know, would I say that it's worth living to watch movies? Would I say it's worth living to, you know, it's sort of like, it reminds me of the story about the concentration camp where they say they have us pick up a bag of rocks and move it to the other side of the camp and then fight. And, you know, it's Sisyphus. I think that life is Sisyphean without a meaning behind the suffering, without anything transcendent. I think that's what you lack. Where is the transcendence? Where is the objective meaning? There is none.
Yeah, and hold on, Destiny. If you look at it through this blue homosexual's point of view, he's saying the love you have for your mom is just chemicals firing in your brain. There's no spiritual component to his ideology.
The chemicals he inhales through his nose.
Right? I like
I don't want to go back and forth. I'll just say my last piece and then I'll be 2 seconds. There is a virtue. There are honorific talents that we can pursue that are like in a way like above just human day-to-day existence. There is something beautiful about a person playing a flute better than any other person could. There is something beautiful about men competing in the field, about athletics, about the Olympics, about different.
So when are you going to see your child, Stephen?
Tomorrow.
When you're done your career? How many followers?
Where's your kid?
I want your kid. Give me your child since you gave up. Since you picked fucking streaming with whores.
All right, let's let him finish.
Yeah, people that go on to accomplish great things are proud of it. And I think there is something greater than to call like a professional Olympian or a professional musician or a professional athlete or somebody that's built an amazing business, podcast, political movement, or YouTube essays or whatever. Like to people that do these things have achieved something that's greater than just a hobby. And I think to call them that, I think is to discredit all the work that goes into it.
But are you arguing that it's just a hobby?
No, I'm saying it would
What he said like 15 times.
I'm saying it would all mean nothing if there wasn't a higher purpose. That's what I'm saying. And by the way, we're also not talking, now you're talking about the pursuit of excellence, which I see a little bit of godliness in you. When you say godly. There's something good about being the best flute player, I agree with you. But that's something totally different than the frivolities that I'm talking about. When it's a woman making a decision about family versus career, if we're talking about wanting to be the best flute player ever, okay, that's one thing. But they're trying to be the best skin flute player ever in many cases. They're going out there, they're not learning.
The fact that every time I bring up examples, you compare it to like somebody just sucking shows that you have an incapability of understanding my position.
That was a tongue-in-cheek example.
No, it's not. But every single thing you've given is people. They're gonna be an OnlyFans girl.
No. I said they're gonna go. I said the reality is
some people pursue great things, and sometimes people do that in place of families. Like it's great that you're saying that it's sad to live for this life, and you want to live for a hypothetical afterlife. I'd rather live for the life that we all know that we have right here and right now, than hope to God that once we turn to dust, there's some other dimension with pearly gates where we get rewarded for our time spent suffering on Earth.
I'm saying there's nothing great about making spreadsheets at some company. That's what I'm saying.
So let me say this because there was a lot of good points brought here. So let me bring the ladies back in here real quick. Ladies, what do you think what our goal is in life here? Why are we put on this earth? We'll start with the couch. Go ahead. Why are humans being put on earth? What do you think?
I mean, me personally, I felt like I was put on this earth to be a mom. I know
that
sounds
to procreate.
crazy, but
okay.
Yeah.
Do you, what about you?
I think humans were put on the earth to experience. It doesn't matter what gender you are. You're here for experience.
Are you spiritual?
Very.
Yeah. Do you believe in God?
Yeah. What about it?
I believe in source. I believe in God.
Yes. Everyone who's spiritual says this stuff. It's about experience and travel.
What about a pedophile? Is he here to experience?
Let me ask, what about you? What do you think human beings are put on earth to do?
I don't know, Zherka, are you?
I think I did mushrooms a couple times, and let's say it's funny, but it's still like
Bitch, you're digesting manure. It's covered in cow shit. You're digesting manure and poison. You know that, like you eat shit for a living.
Okay, so what do you think?
Zherka's one coke trip away from fentanyl overdose.
And what I think we're all just players, and we're not supposed to take life too serious.
Okay,
of course.
It is kind of suffering, unfortunately, but it's also.
But why do you think human beings are put on Earth? Give us your sober explanation, then your shrooms. Okay, what is the game?
Whatever, everybody has their own. Somebody's mom, somebody's have a careers. Whatever game you choose, you can play.
What about a pedophile game?
What about you, Miss Australia? What do you think human beings are put on Earth to do?
I honestly believe to be a mom. I'm so excited to be a mom.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think human beings are put on Earth to do?
I also think that we was put here to procreate.
Okay. What about you?
But sometimes I think somebody watch us on the Netflix, what we're doing there.
Yeah. Okay. What about you? What do we put on Earth to do?
I think we're here to experience everything. Life, creating life.
What about murder?
But if you had to pick one thing, the main thing, what would you say it was?
But that goes back to the question about procreating, and obviously I wouldn't take my kids away for the life of me.
So would it be fair to say that it's procreation?
But if I didn't know any better, I definitely could still find other aspects of my life that I would make me happy and I would believe in, because I have also...
What about human beings in general, not just you?
Yeah.
Human beings in general, I think that we should be allowed to experience it all and have it.
What about murder? Can I knife you right now?
No.
Can I put a
What
blade
experience compares to having children? What experience has come close to motherhood?
I would say I do a bit of charity work, so I think giving back and taking girls out of compromising situations, like I have done, wouldn't.
What's a better life experience, motherhood or charity?
Well, definitely. Like I said, I've had kids, so it's different. You can't give somebody something and take that away.
All right, what about you? What is the reason human beings are put on Earth?
I believe our purpose here is to help one another, serve one another.
Hey, y'all!
All right, but what's the top thing?
To serve one another and to serve a higher being. With God.
Serve a pedophile.
I don't think anyone knows the reason why we're on Earth, but I think once we're here, we need to
Sneako.
act in a way that would produce the best society, be the people that we want the rest
Aren't
of
you the
the
girl who sucks?
What about you? What do you think human beings are put on earth to do?
I just think we're here. I don't think there's like a bigger purpose.
That's the blonde answer.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think we're here just to procreate because otherwise we'd be animals, and that's what animals are here for. So I think that the reason that we're given consciousness in the first place
Are we
is
not
to,
animals?
Nope.
We are holier than animals if you believe in the Quran or the Bible.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're living beings, correct?
No, because an animal doesn't feel shame, Myron, even if they're naked.
Wait, do we think animals have souls like human for the religious people in this panel?
No, we're not Jews. Jews believe that.
We're not.
They believe in lesser
All right, go ahead.
souls.
So continue on. Sorry. So you think what is if there's one main thing? What do you think?
So the reason that we are given consciousness, or humans are put on this earth, as you put it, in my opinion, is to ponder that consciousness.
Hold on, just your Jew mouth. Just stop talking for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The difference from an animal and a human, every philosopher and intellectual throughout history agreed, is to identify God.
Hold on, every intellectual
a human can
philosopher
identify.
throughout history.
A pig does not ponder if God is real. That's proof of God, bitch. Do you understand? A pig doesn't go. Maybe your husband.
Do you think
but
I'm an atheist?
Of course you are. Look at you. Look at you. You're not married. And you know what's funny? All these fucking dumb bitches, they all said marriage and being a mother. Where the fuck do you think you get that? You get that from our Bible. So shut the fuck up and go back to the book. You're ruining society.
Right, so what I was going to say was whether to bring this all full. Do you want to finish your point before I say it?
No, Zherka finished.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. I finished with her. It's a miracle.
I went around the table there, right? Because the reality is that human beings are put on earth to create life. Whether you're an atheist or you are religious, all the books pretty much say it. The most important thing is having children, creating offspring. That's why we're put on earth. That's why the male biological urge to have sex is so strong, and the female biological urge to have children is so strong, especially as they get older and they get closer to that window, right? They call it the baby rabies. It's a real thing.
I'm not sure the Quran the Quran really says that that we're put here to worship God. We're here as God's slaves. And then you think about what God would want us to do. Is to do
but
the
having
right
a family is also at the top. I mean, outside of worshiping God, the next thing is having a family.
Right.
Really?
So. Right.
That's how you make God happy.
Yeah. So whether you're an atheist or you're religious, etc., it seems to me that procreating is at the top of the totem pole. If you're an atheist, it's procreating. If you are religious, it's God, then procreating, which is right there. Right. So with that said, creating life. What makes a man's chances increase to procreate? I'll answer it. Acquiring status, resources, being attractive. Fair? Can we all agree on that?
Trinity. No, data-wise, you're just wrong. What? Like, poor men have more kids than wealthy men. You're just wrong. I know you say I'm a contrarian, but like, you can Google the numbers right now. You're just wrong.
No.
The best in the village.
I didn't say what is actually going to lead to. I said what increases your chances.
How can it increase your chance if it doesn't actually do it? Or what is that? What do you base it on?
It would be the highest level of trinity of status, network, and looks in the fucking village. Like Melina chose you from all the fucking nerds. She chose you because you have the most network, looks, and fucking status, you dumb fucking
if there's a guy,
thank
you for saying I'm so If there's a guy that's pursuing that trinity of things and another guy who's trying to fucking have as many kids as possible, the guy that's fucking have as many kids as possible is always going to have more kids than the wealthy.
But remember, again, this goes back to creating life and increasing your likelihood of mating. As a man, acquiring status, resources, competence, etc., is going to secure your ability at a higher likelihood of getting a better mate, being able to stay with that mate long term, and most importantly, getting more than just one woman because men want quantity. Right? Acquiring status, resources.
Yeah, I understand.
It's like important for increasing your chances of finding a mate.
Sure, it's a fun theory, but number-wise, none of that exists in reality. Poor men have more baby mamas. Poor men have more children. Poor men have a higher likelihood to pass their genes on. Isn't this just the point of like idiocracy of the movie?
They cannot sustain and maintain a.
They don't need to sustain and maintain.
Destiny, which of the poor? The highest status.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish my point here, okay? Because it still doesn't change the fact that it increases a man's likelihood of mating, acquiring these things, which is why, right, men get a natural benefit and happiness. Because you mentioned before, you guys built up this podcast. It makes you feel good. The reason why men chase resources and status is because that leads to respect, that leads to fulfillment, because men are fulfilled when they create something. That's why men are builders. That's why men are overwhelmingly inventors. They create the infrastructure, etc. Men are fulfilled from creating things. Women, however, are fulfilled from creating children. That's why women, right? Women don't get the same satisfaction from building something. They don't get the same satisfaction from career, earning income, etc. They get more satisfaction from having children. Even the women on the panel, successful hairdressing salon, etc., they pick their kids. Why? They pick their kids because they know that my duty as a woman is to be attractive so I can find the highest status man that I can and have children with that man. So what I'm saying is that women get their benefit from biological sense. They get their fulfillment from having a family. If they want to have a career, that's cool, but it's never going to fulfill them to the same extent that it will for a man, because when a man is fulfilled with a career, his mating options increase. When a woman is fulfilled by being attractive and having a man, she's successfully done her mating strategy, because men and women are different. Women want quality. So how do I get quality? I be attractive, keep myself young and fertile, get that man, bam, I secured his resources. I won. I have children with that man. I'm in a relationship. Man wins. I have resource. I have status. I have this woman. But if I want to, I can spread my seed to other women because I have the ability to have quantity.
Why don't any of them do it?
Perfect.
Wait.
What was that?
Why wealthy men don't go out and have a ton of kids, though? It like defeats your entire argument. If men are only pursuing these things because it gives them the option to procreate more,
a bunch of other women,
but they don't, and they don't have a lot of kids. They literally don't. Higher body counts are on poor people. Like everybody knows this.
Are you talking about today?
Today, yes.
Yeah, because there's birth control. We have contraception and birth control, so men don't have to deal with the consequence of impregnating women.
Yeah, but even wealthier men don't have higher sexual partner count. There's no study, there's no research you could pull. Like we're totally off the facts at this point. Like I said, like it's like Nick's story. These are nice stories, but they don't map onto reality. They're just stories. If you look at the data, wealthy men aren't out here having sex with all these women. They're definitely not procreating with all these women. And if they wanted to, they could tell them to get a birth control.
Jesse, common sense. Common sense
is if you ask who has more kids,
hang on, mapping on reality, maps of meaning over here. If I am like a multi-millionaire and I'm standing next to some homeless bum, who is going to have a higher chance of mating with a woman?
It's about who's choosing to.
Exactly. We're talking about chance, not choice.
But you're saying you pursue the chance in order to exercise the chance.
We're saying very simply, it's very simple. I know it's hard to understand. When there's no source, where's the source that says that hot,
I do
tall
like that you
chads
fall
with
back
lots
on
of
emotion
money
over fact, because you can't win the data argument.
Emotion.
It is. It's an emotional argument.
It's just
I can't
common
argue
sense.
against the
Everybody
emotional.
watching can perfectly understand what
Really,
we're
they
talking
think
about.
that wealthy people have more children than
wealthy
people.
people. Everybody women are more accessible to wealthy people.
Wait a minute. Then why do poor people have so many more children?
Because it's a different lifestyle.
You think right now? I'm curious. And the wealthier countries in the world versus the
when
poor
you're talking
countries
about
in the world,
people,
who's having more children?
Africa.
Really, but they're all
it's
poor. Why?
Selection.
Why?
It's
first of all, it's not
selection.
RK
Very
selection.
simple.
That has to do with investment in offspring. That's not even true.
Yes, it is. Yep, it is. You can
not.
look up. There's a debate about it on YouTube. But
there's not a debate about it. There are selected species and case-selected species.
It's very simple.
But it has nothing to do with the conversation right now.
If I'm rich versus a poor person, who has a higher chance of going to a bar and pulling a girl and taking her home?
Well, based on the data, seems like the poor person that's spending all his time does.
Okay, that's all I wanted was
that's
an answer.
Great. And then
based on the data, the poor person.
Is data gay when it backs me up, Nick? Mr. Captain Virgin at 26, you hate the data now?
Everyone raise your hand if you think
I know that upsets you. I'm sorry. I can only go by the numbers. That's all I can read.
You also have to admit that what we're talking about, there's no way to conclusively conduct a study on that level where you're comparing wealthy men who keep their sex life secret for obvious reasons versus a regular dude and or a lower socioeconomic male. Like you can't, that study would never pass any type of ethical guidelines.
Hold on. You literally can check who has more children. You can break it down by income.
40 Discord girls a month, but when you were a carpet cleaner, you barely had one. You had some half midgets.
40 different women. What are you talking about?
40 different guys.
That's not a good assessment to use that people are having sex, because you got to remember in 2023, guys that have money are more likely to pay for an abortion, use contraception, give a girl a plan B. They're less likely to actually go through the process of having the child.
Yeah, but then why would we acquire all the status if it's not to have children then? I thought that was the whole point.
No, you're right. But men want the sexual options. Men are more interested in the sexual act. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the point here. Optimal performance will indicate that, for example, you need money and status, but just to have kids and have like that sex life, you could be a bum. However, it's the intent behind it. So if I intend to have sex with women, that's my intent. That's my focus. So by default, I'm gonna have more options and more girls. But higher quality women will respect a man that has worked on himself and becomes successful.
Wait a minute, Fresh and Nick, are you saying the homeless man that smells like fucking dog piss is not my wife? You gotta be kidding me, bro.
The whole reason I even went through that display is to show that men derive fulfillment from success and acquiring status and resources, which increases their likelihood of going up in the sexual marketplace. Women get fulfillment from having a child and family with a man they love, admire, and respect, and securing his commitment. We are very different in our sexual strategies. That's what I'm saying. Men and women derive fulfillment from different things. Can a woman derive fulfillment from a career? Of course, but a majority of women will not.
I understand what you're saying, but I can only repeat it so many times. Like, none of the data agrees with you. There's a reason why the world has changed the way it is, but like, we're just going back and forth.
No.
Like,
Since the 1970s, female lack of happiness has gone up.
How are you guys going to decry studies I use and then try to appeal to one of the most difficult to study social phenomenon of like happiness and satisfaction? Like, if you want to study happiness and satisfaction, every single first world country dramatically outpaces every single third world country where they're having more kids, where they live a more fundamental life, where they don't have birth control of cell phones. But like, studying happiness is one of the most difficult social phenomenon to study.
But since
now you're going to appeal to those studies.
Females' life approval ratings have gone down. And what has also occurred during those same decades, I know correlation is a causation, but feminism got stronger since the 70s, and women's happiness rates have went down alongside it. So is the antidepressant medication subscriptions, they've went up. So, I mean, we could sit here and say women are happier now than ever before, but I would respectfully disagree and say that women are less happy than they've ever been because they've been lied to about what actually makes them happy. They're being falsely told, chase a career, make money, acquire resources, basically live like a man, and you'll be happy. And what do we have? We have a lot of sad women out there that aren't having the same high approval ratings with life, even though they're the most educated and they make the most money they've ever had.
Sure. I mean, like, we can, I don't want to go back and forth all night, but like, I've said my piece,
Okay, fair enough.
Just out of curiosity. Yeah.
Sure.
I was wondering if you value your career over your family.
Here's the thing. I understand, like, obviously family is always going to come first, but the difference between me and a woman is that there is no, I must be excellent to have the family. In other words, I can't leave the workforce for my family, but my wife can. Does that make sense? Yeah. My family staying intact and being on point is contingent upon my competency and my excellence. The family's success is not contingent upon my woman's success and competency. That's the difference.
Yep. Unless he decides.
That is why it's so important for the man to be the leader. That is why it's so important for men to pursue excellence. That is why it's so important for the man to take on the reins and be the main breadwinner. If the woman wants to work, fantastic. I think women should work electively. Men must work mandatorily.
Can I ask you a question? Would you ever be a stay-at-home dad?
Absolutely not.
Okay, but
because yes. And there's a bunch of biological reasons for that. Women don't respect men that don't provide security and provisioning and a bunch of other things. And me being a stay-at-home father, I've effectively feminized myself. Like, if I could, like realistically speaking, if women weren't the way that they were, it might work. But women are very cutthroat when they're with a man that they feel that they are better than.
It's just like,
they will lose respect for you. They will start to emasculate you. They'll start talking shit to you. They won't want to be with you. And they want to feel like they're with a man that can protect and provide for them, no matter how much money they make. If I meet a woman and she makes $1 million a year and she took care of her own security, she's still going to want me to make at least $1 million a year. Women are very greedy and selfish with their resources. They don't like to share with men. However, men are happy to share their resources with women. That's why the man must always be in a leadership breadwinner role. When a woman makes more money than her man, the studies show this. The divorce rates go up precipitously.
Yep. Okay.
Women are terrible people when they have leverage. No offense.
Earlier, when we had asked all the girls, you know, what you or what's more important to you, family or career, it was to prove a specific point. Except for all of the men in this room would, because you guys are godly, right? And Quran and Bible come first, so you would choose family first as well. So the point being is, women, even though we put family first,
the man has to choose career first.
Oh, so you do choose career.
Well, if I don't have the career, I can't have the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many men work in law enforcement that go to work when they don't want to work because they have to make the money for the family? How many guys are out on business trips to work to earn for the family? Like, men, even though it sounds terrible, as a man, you must put your career first. Of course, you love your family more, but you understand that your career must be put first. You're going to miss Christmas. You're going to miss birthdays. You're going to miss basketball games. Men must make this sacrifice in the pursuit of excellence to maintain their family.
Destiny made the point.
We don't get a choice like women do. Women get a choice of if they want to pursue excellence and get a career. Men don't.
Destiny made the point you can have kids being poor. However, optimal performance is, you know what? I make money for my family. I'm the provider. That works all the time. Yeah. But being poor, having kids, what's the point?
Or you know what? We could go 50-50, but let's be honest here. Most women don't want to go 50-50.
Well, there's a lot of single mums out there that don't have the option of 50-50. They still do it on their own, and we get by just fine.
You have to.
So why would we not agree to go 50-50? If I'm getting by on my own without a man, and a man came and said, I'm going to cut your bill in half, I'd be like, thank God. And I would still be happy.
That's you, but with all due respect, you're 35 years old. Your options in the sexual marketplace aren't like they were 10 years ago. So you might have to concede to that. But a younger woman at her prime is not taking 50-50. Let's keep it 1,000. They're not. They want a guy who's a leader in all aspects. women typically have to lower their standards as they get older. You have children now. You're 35 years old.
I've always
you're a
wanted
business
to
owner.
work. Always.
That's
I worked
that's
all
fantastic.
through my
But being
pregnancies
a mother
and
is not a
after.
50-50 proposition.
100%.
Why not? Why don't you love my child like I love my child?
Here's why. Because if you look at a lot of women who go to work,
Your semen
hang
made
on,
it.
hang on, whoa. If a woman's going to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week with young children, what do they leave them alone in the house, or they have to take them
You
to
get an
daycare?
au pair.
They got to take them to an au pair. You think? Okay, there we
Well,
go.
once your
Who's
child
there?
turns 5 or 6, the kid's at school, right? That's usually when the parents start working again.
No, but I'm talking early
or
childhood. I'm talking
daycare.
about like
I
from
worked
0
from
to
home
4.
with my kids
Exactly.
at home.
Wait. But that's the point I'm making. It's daycare. Being a mother's a full-time job, and that proves it. Because if a woman's working, she's got to take the kids to daycare, so someone else could be the mother.
Or
No,
split
but I
shift.
mean, usually
A
it's
man
like
could go,
school.
a
So
woman could
usually
go.
you don't start daycare until like 3 maybe, and then you're in school at 5.
But
And
those
so those
first 3
2
months
years-
are the most
3
important
months.
The
Yeah, you're
first 3
usually
months.
with your
Yeah,
child the
of
first
course,
3
you might have
months.
to
You're not in
breastfeed.
work the first
But I
3
worked
months.
from
and-
home.
Early,
You know,
I'm
so-
talking about like 3 years
okay.
old.
You know, it's amazing how everyone starts. It's a touchy subject because women don't like to think about this. Children want their mothers to be around. It's essential in the first 3 months. It is critical after that. And yeah, children go to school and everything, but if a man and woman are married and if they're having sex the right way, which is without birth control and contraceptives,
man.
you're supposed to have multiple kids. And so if you've got multiple kids coming out all the time, some of them are going to have to be in daycare. Some of them are not going to be taken to school. And the thing is about school isn't as long as work. Because I remember my mother, when me and my sister were born, she quit her job. We had to downsize her house. She could stay home and raise me and my sister. And I remember even when I was going to kindergarten or first grade, we got off of school at 3:00. And the kids that their mom was working, they had to go to daycare, after school daycare. Couldn't see their mom until 5. And it's almost like the kid is working a full-time job because they get dropped off at school at 7, picked up at 5. They do their homework. They were really only with their parents for like 4 hours of the day before they have to go to bed and start all over again. And that's a child's life. What is a more important job for a mother to have than to be there for her children at their youngest age? That's where I'm coming from. That's why it's a full-time job. I'm not saying don't love your kid. I'm just saying it's a full-time job.
What you just said, like a lot of children actually really like extended care and after hours at school because it's a time to play with other kids.
That's crazy.
Not everybody. I know
No,
it's crazy to you.
that is
I know
not
it's like
crazy.
crazy weird.
Crazy.
That's not crazy weird.
Boys
The
and
idea of
girls
like
go-
I want to go
Yeah.
right home to my house and I want to sit in my house and stare at my mom all day. Most kids, when they're 5, 6, 7, actually do like playing after school with kids.
Dance.
Sometimes some of the most
Yeah.
fun you have. Yeah, maybe you didn't have any friends in school, but for the rest of us that did, it's actually nice to be able to play with them after class. Yeah.
Well,
No,
you don't
I
play
disagree.
any sports, right? Because like I asked you, you don't
No,
play.
I'm 24 years old. I don't play sports. I'm
No,
not a
I did
child.
ask you last night, and you said no.
I played sports when I was a kid.
What sports?
Volleyball, t-ball.
Okay, and you did this when?
I don't know. Weekends.
Probably after school.
Not every day. I mean,
not
but
every day?
what's your argument? Is your argument that daycare doesn't have to raise the kids for part or most of the time if a woman's working?
Okay, so
Because that's true, right? You concede this.
I see what you're saying, and
Wait, but you do concede that premise.
No, not fully.
Okay, so a woman can have a full-time job and be a full-time mother.
Yes.
But
mom-
the kid is being raised in the daycare for the time that the mother's not there. So they're acting as a surrogate mother, right?
I hear what you're saying, that the mom will absolutely get less time. That's
You just
100%.
say you don't understand it because you have a
But
woman's
what about
brain. How can you be full-time?
one way?
You
Explain.
fucking dumbass! I have offered
Please.
you an IQ test
Explain.
a million fucking
You-
times, and you will not
and
take it.
And you offered head
You
a million
dumb
times. I don't want
cokehead
it.
piece of
I don't
shit.
want the head either. But
I
check
like
this
how
out.
the facade drops. I like how when she gets frustrated, the facade of the nice girl.
Yeah.
Totally
I
goes
Nick,
like,
explain to me.
the nice little girl.
She's saying-
And then she gets mad, and then it's, I told you to take a fucking IQ test, you fucking asshole.
I have offered him an IQ test like a
It's just
million
amazing.
times.
I
He will not take it. He's
Because I see it.
retarded.
I don't like culture pussy. But check this out. How can you do a
Rabbi
full-time
blessed it.
motherhood if 7 hours are going to some fucking daycare
That's what I'm
pedophile? What are you trying to say? You're saying 7 hours is going to a daycare pedophile, but you're still full-time? Why are you stupid?
I'm saying that the mom will obviously have. I didn't say I didn't.
We're saying
understand the point
full-time.
at all.
Listen with your peanut brain. Full-time. You know
Lord
what full-time
Jesus.
means?
My mother
What
was
is
my mother was a full-time mom
Oh, Lord.
and a full-time she works as an attorney. She had a full-time job and she was home every day and she cooked me dinner but I still had to go to soccer practice. I still had to do a lot of things after school.
So
I
she
was
wasn't
busy.
full-time.
She was
That's
full
the truth.
time.
No, she
I was
wasn't. Your
busy.
mom failed you. That's why you're on this podcast.
Wait, what do you guys
My
think
mom
5, 6,
did?
7-year-old kids do after school? I want to hear that. I'm so curious
Go
right
home
now.
and play.
But that's see.
What,
here's
play
the
what,
thing.
video games? Watch
Letters.
TV?
What
Play
about the
outside in
men
the
who
yard.
can't?
Here's
Play,
the thing.
so what's the difference between
Hang on,
playing
hang on,
outside
hang on.
with other kids and
Hang
going
on.
to daycare?
Hang on. That's a total diversion for what we're talking about.
It's literally not. We were literally talking about
It
after school
absolutely is.
instead
It
of care or
absolutely is.
daycare.
Because here's the fundamental point, which I keep trying to make, but for whatever reason, it's just like flying over everybody's head. If the mother is working, this is time away from her being a mother. It's less hours with the child. We all, I mean, and you can
I
say,
concede
wait,
to
hang
that.
on. And you can say, oh, well, so what? You can say that. So what? The kid is playing soccer or whatever. You can say that. But those are hours that a mother literally cannot be there for the kid because they're at work.
Sure. So you're saying when a kid is 5, 6, 7 years old, it's more important for the kid to go home and be with his mom than to play with other kids after school?
I think it's essential for the mother to be there for the kids all day.
I'm gonna
Nick
keep
ran
let me
straight
ask that one
home
more
and
time.
sucked his
wait,
mom's
wait.
tit.
I want to hear that one more time. So for 5 years and older, you think it's more important for that kid to go home and be with his mom than it is for them to play with other kids after school?
I think it's less important 5 years and up, but if you're talking about K through 5 or 0 to 5 years old, what woman could
No one is talking
hang on,
0 to 5.
That is what I talked
So
about.
then
If
you should very
rewind the
easily
tape.
answer my question and say, no, Destiny, when they hit 5, when they're going to school, it's probably better for them to play with kids after school than
No,
going with their
Cuck.
mom.
What I said initially is that from 0 to 5, these are critical years. I said the first 3 months are essential. 0 to 5 is critical. And a woman can't take 5 years off of a full-time job to be there for a kid. So a daycare worker or somebody is going to have to step in. And this is what I'm talking about, priorities.
You still haven't answered my question. It's so simple.
You don't
From
answer my
5 and up-
stupid
listen up.
question.
Okay,
You don't
come
answer
on,
my
you can
stupid
do it.
logical
Hey,
fallacy
listen,
diversion.
it's
I'm
not a
trying to make
logical
an
fallacy.
argument.
This is
I'm
such a
constructing
simple
an argument.
question.
I'm constructing an argument.
Maybe I can ask the women if you don't understand.
I'm
That's like-
constructing an argument. Why would I ask someone
Why
that's
do you
inferior
need-
intelligence to me a question?
Right. Inferior intelligence,
Let me
okay.
jump
It's a
in, okay?
25-year-old virgin
Let me
gay guy.
jump
Go
in.
ahead.
24-year-old virgin.
Go
And that's what
ahead.
God
Yeah.
calls us to do.
Go
You're a
ahead, yeah.
34-year-old cuck.
You're only
And
virgin
you're
because anal
homosexual.
sex. You're only
And
a
you
virgin because
literally
getting in the ass doesn't count to you for losing virginity.
You're talking about hooking up
Keep
with
on
guys on
going.
Grindr
Keep on
yesterday
going.
with Sneako.
All right,
I don't know.
keep
You're
on
not
going.
going to win that
Destiny,
one.
what was the question again?
The question is, if a kid is
crazy.
5 years and older, they're going to school, whenever they start kindergarten, first grade, is it better for them right after school to go home and be with mom or to play with other kids for an hour or two at like extended
But
care?
that's not what we're talking about. We're not
You see how he
talking
can't
about
answer the question?
But this is what you do. You ask a stupid, and then he throws
It's
his
such
head
an
up
easy
and
answer. Yeah, you can keep pointing it up.
I'm
you can't answer the
incapable of
question.
having an adult
Because you know that the question
conversation.
defeats your entire worldview.
And
It's like
I'm about
based
to
on
explain.
nothing.
You have to
You
keep
are a kid that
interrupting
went
me.
to school
You
with
have
no
to keep interrupting
friends.
me.
You're a
So-
fucking homo. You're a
Hold on.
virgin. We've all seen the pictures, Nick. Like, there's a reason why you can't engage with the question. Sorry,
The
Myra, go ahead.
personal attacks don't work.
The
when you're
after you screamed at me, cuck, cuck, cuck over and over again.
That's what you are. That's what you are.
You gotta remember that she asked he's formulating his argument based off from 0 to 5, and then he'll answer your question after.
Well,
5.
no, but I'm rejecting the premise because the questions don't exist after 5. And then he has to interrupt whenever I try to attempt to make my argument.
Go ahead.
I'm rejecting the premise because the question is not what's better for kids, hanging out with their friends or being with their mom. The premise is this. And then he's on the phone, dismissive. He's looking at chat for rebuttals. I love that. He's always looking at chat for the rebuttals.
It's always the rambling with you.
No,
You're
no,
like
no.
a shitty preacher.
It's not
I was
rambling
gonna
when
say mine
somebody
is a
is
child abuse,
constructing
but
an
you
argument.
probably
It's
won't.
not-
Let him finish his point. Let him
See,
finish his point.
this is why your own community said you lost the debate on Fridays
Keep
because you
going,
resort
Nick.
to these cheap tactics,
There he goes.
false dichotomies. You check your
Nick,
chat.
you love me so much. You're
That's
posting
what you
pictures
do.
on your Telegram of me.
Yeah,
Nick.
because you were
Because you
cramming
jerk
for
off
another
because you
debate.
wish-
You were cramming for another
wish you could have
debate,
half the
literally
life
in
that I
the
have.
lobby.
24-year-old virgin on a red pill podcast.
I wish
Please.
I was 3 feet tall, blue
Please
hair,
keep
and a wife that
please
fucks other
keep calling.
guys.
I know.
Right. Every guy's dream. Right. Anyway, so I reject the premise.
Yeah.
I reject the premise because it's not a question of this is what you do. You always steer into a stupid question. The question is, if a woman is working a full-time job, it's not whether it's better for the kid to be with the mom or with the kids. The mom's not an option. Mom's off the fucking table because she's at work. So if the kid's sick, if the kid gets injured, if there's something that's going on, if she's got to take them somewhere, oh, sorry, honey, I'm working that day. Sorry, honey, I'm scheduled to come in that day. It's off the table. That's what I'm getting at. And she doesn't like it because it makes her uncomfortable.
No,
because it's
I'll
true.
tell you why, because you
Time with your mom,
steered away
absolutely.
from my answer. My answer was about working mums. Some women have to work. There's not many.
I know that.
There is not many families that can afford to buy a house in Australia without 2 incomes. So if you can't earn enough, then the woman steps in. Or at the end of the day, we don't all get given jobs that make millions. The world won't work. The world's not going to revolve like that.
I agree
Reality
with you.
is. So you steered away from that, and then you made fun of women that have to give their kids up.
I didn't make fun.
Well,
I
you
did.
kind of said it was wrong.
I think it's wrong. I didn't make fun of
But
it.
what about if we have to do that?
And let me answer that. Let me answer that directly. You're telling me something that's not unfamiliar to me, okay? Both my mom and my father lost their fathers at a very early age, before they turned 10 years old. So both my father and mother were raised by single moms. Both were widows. And so I understand out of necessity, sometimes a single mother has to be there. And I love both my grandmothers. They're very tough. They're very smart.
But those kids are less because they're not with their mum all the time.
No, of course. I'm saying my parents are less. Of course, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're less. Sometimes it's out of necessity. But we're not talking about necessity. We're not talking about circumstance. We're saying what is right. We're saying what should be encouraged. It's not diverted. Some women have to do that. I also think, by the way, that, I don't want to get into your personal life, but some situations, the husband dies. That's not most situations for single mothers, if we're being totally honest. Most single mothers, it's not because the husband dies tragically at a young age and an unforeseen circumstance.
They picked the wrong guy.
It's elective. And so it's really about what decisions are people making. And I think it's a better decision. I think it is ideal for the mother to choose full-time motherhood. I think it's better for the kids. I think the mother prefers that. I think it's probably, I'm not a girl, but if I were a girl, I would much rather be at home hanging out with the kids than I would going to, driving on my commute and clocking in and typing up a spreadsheet or, whatever it is. That's all I'm saying.
And then you were saying before, why should a man, why should a man not, a man should be able to come in and raise another man's children. I disagree with that. I think, and that was going back to my point before where you were saying I'm 35, I have 2 kids, etc., and I'm willing to go ahead and go 50-50 with a man. That's how this whole conversation started. I'm saying, with all due respect, you have to concede to that now because you don't have the same command over the dating marketplace that you had 15 years ago when you were 20 years old. I hate to say it, but as a woman ages, as she makes more money and she has children, her ability to get a higher quality mate goes down a bit. So,
I do all right,
you have to accept the fact that I am willing to go 50-50 with a man. But if I took you 15 years ago, you might have had a different thought when you were at your peak.
I've always wanted to work.
That's fine, but
I've always wanted to do
that's
both.
not the same as going 50-50.
Yeah.
Then this is something.
I was married and I went 50-50. So I've always wanted to, and I'm happy that.
So you were with a man and you went 50-50 with him. Where is that man now?
Well, he was.
There you go.
Okay, listen.
You can't. We don't miss.
Yeah.
Who initiated the divorce? You did.
No, it was definitely mutually.
Mutual. There's no such thing as mutual.
We met very
one party
young.
has to file
We
the
grew
divorce.
apart.
One party must file the divorce. Who initiated the divorce?
Well, we left it for such a long time that it's in the end, it was
Who initiated the divorce?
I left my husband.
There you go.
There you go.
That is my point.
Doesn't work.
See, this is what I mean when I say social construction doesn't necessarily adhere.
It wasn't based on a financial decision.
I understand that.
It's about respect.
But what I'm trying to say, I understand that your reasons for leaving him were not 100% contingent upon being 50-50. Fair. I can see that. But what I am saying is that the chances of a divorce occurring when you're going 50-50 goes up. The chance of you leaving him, had he had a bigger contribution to paying the bills and take care of you, probably would have went down. You would have thought twice about divorcing him if he was completely taking care of you. But the fact that you had to go 50-50 with him, which is getting out of your feminine because now you're adopting a more masculine role because you're going 50-50 with a man that should be taking care of you.
But that's just a scare tactic because women are scared to be financially independent.
How old are your children?
8 and 12.
8 and 12. How old were you when you met the guy?
I was 20.
Do you think if you would have waited 3 or 4 or 5 more years, you would have met?
100%.
Okay, so her thing, you can try to say she initiated the divorce, which is a hilariously crude way to figure out why a relationship is ending. Or you can try to say if he would have had more money, it would have been different. But chances are, reinforcing my argument, if she wouldn't have started a family at 20, would have waited till she was 25, she probably would have made a better decision.
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys.
So you can talk about a decrease in market value, but the reality is, regardless of your fucking value at 20, you got a higher chance of getting scammed.
Well, that comes back to what we were saying, where the father. This is why dads are so important. Women are terrible at mate selecting. They always pick terrible mates a lot of the times. This is why the family needs to be involved.
Sure, but again, if fathers were choosing, none of the men at this table would get chosen.